to my channel. I look crazy, but that is because we just got out of bed. We slept in a little bit, baby girl and me. She slept through the night, so she woke up for her feeding at 5:30 a.m. and that's only because my husband's alarm went off. For now, because it is already almost 10 a.m., I want to do a quick little get ready with me. Something that I do want to get better at is having a skincare routine. I do not have a skincare routine. I have not had one probably since I was pregnant. There's actually like certain products or ingredients in certain products that are not good for you while you are pregnant. And likewise, now that I'm breastfeeding, there are some products that aren't good for me while I'm breastfeeding. I do know that there are obviously safe products that I can use. I've just been so lazy to do research. Skincare just wasn't a priority. But now that I kind of have a rhythm of my day, more or less, I do want to start taking care of my skin in the morning and at night. For serum, actually one of my friends gave me this Korean skincare brand. It's called Beauty of Joseon. The concealer I just applied was this Too Faced Born Again concealer. I use the shade Light Beige, and the setting spray was a Dewy Coconut setting spray from e.l.f. I'm going to apply some blush. This is Tower 28 Magic Hour shade. I love a good cream blush. For eyeshadow, I don't even know what this palette is. My mom gave it to me a while back and the name is kind of like gone. But anyway, I'm gonna use like a little maybe dark brown shiny glittery moment. I've been kind of applying eyeshadow here and there again. The reason I don't really like eyeshadow is because I'm not used to it. It's been so long since I've worn it. So I will rub my eyes sometimes and then the powder gets in my eyes. But sometimes I like to just do a little extra. Today, we're gonna be a little extra. Then I have this NYX Super Skinny Eye Marker. For eyeliner, I'm not good at it, so I just try to do my best and apply a little wing at the end. And lastly, I'm gonna do some mascara. I have the Colossal, I believe Maybelline. I'm sure there are better ones out there. I just bought this one like so long ago, like this brand, the same one, and I liked it back in the day, like college maybe. And I'm just a creature of habit. Like once I buy something and it like works for me, I'm so bad at expanding and exploring other things. That is all. And put on some little hoop earrings. Time for the hair. Honestly, my hair, I don't do anything. I just brush it and I have to either braid it or put it up because when you have a baby, you can't just have your hair out and about like that because they will pull it. It will get tangled up on their little hands. Sometimes, like if she's chilling and I want to just look a little extra cute in the morning for my own self-esteem, I'll like have it down for a while. Otherwise, I just put it straight up right away. For right now, because she's awake, I'm probably gonna just like clip it back. And that will be it for right now. It's been pretty hard to get ready or tend to myself. I usually have to do it super quick, but she's right here. Like I can hear her, she's talking. We also have monitors and stuff so we can always watch her. So it's been nice to like get ready while I know that she's chilling out, she's okay, she's safe. All right, let's go get the little girl. This is the white noise that we use. I've shared it before, but it's the Mom Cozy sound machine. We love it. It turns different colors. It has different noises. And she likes it, doesn't she? Okay, so let's make breakfast. I'm gonna have my regular. I made oatmeal last night. And when I make the oatmeal, it's not as mushy, but it just tends to get like that because it absorbs the water and the milk. So what I do, I go in and add a little bit of milk. Yeah, baby. And then I will mix it all up. And then I will go ahead and pop this in the microwave. How are you? So I'm gonna go ahead and let this cool down. In the meantime, I'm probably going to try to do her little routine that I try to do during her wake windows, which is I'll give her vitamin D drops first because the pediatrician said that I should do that, and then I will go ahead and read her a little book, and then I will go ahead and try to do some tummy. Oh my goodness, look at loud baby. feeding. Then I would try to do some tummy time, even though she hates it. But I think at this point she should be doing bless you, bless you. At this point she should be doing 20 to 30 minutes. So I like to break that up by like increments of 5 minutes throughout the day, and I'll try to do that 4 times. So I'm gonna do that with this wake window while my oatmeal cools down. So let's go pick out a little book for her. My mom bought her these Bible story little books, and they're so cute. This one is called Bible Heroes. Moses was a prophet, leader, and teacher. Oh my goodness! Look at it! Esther was a queen. She saved the Jewish people in Persia. Look at that. Oh my goodness. The end. Oh look, she has a little bald spot. I don't know how to stop that. I heard that silk sheets for her bassinet or crib may help. But yeah, this is a little situation we got going on right now. I'm gonna give you vitamin D, and then you can eat your little milkies, okay? These are the vitamin D drops that we're using. I got them off of Amazon. One little drop for the little girl. Alrighty, so she seems to be a little bit more fussy, and I'm picking up on her cues, and I'm pretty sure she's hungry again, even though I just fed her. But she's been kind of cluster feeding, so we are going to follow her lead. Yeah, mama, let's go. I will eat my oatmeal later. This is just how it goes sometimes, but that is okay. So my little setup, I have obviously my chair. I have a 3-tier rolling cart here, and this is a must because whenever I breastfeed, like in the living room or anywhere else, I just bring everything that I need with me. And down here I have my stool because I've mentioned in previous videos that it was just so uncomfortable to breastfeed while my legs were hanging, so having a little step stool is just a must. She is down for a nap. I actually was so hungry that while I was like trying to shush her down to sleep, I ate about half of my oatmeal. I'm getting really good at multitasking. I was already good at it, but it's like the next level. Anyway, it is such a cozy, rainy, gloomy day outside, and I just need my coffee, you know, like that will complete the coziness vibe right now. So let's make a coffee. While my coffee water heats up, I'm gonna go ahead and have some of my multivitamins. So these are prenatal, but also for nursing women, which I am a nursing woman. As long as I'm breastfeeding, my OB said to keep taking those. So let's continue with the coffee making process. I'm feeling chatty today, can you tell? First things first, what I like to do as soon as I set her down is that I like to set a timer for 3 hours from the point that I fed her. This helps me because I really make sure that throughout the day she eats every 2 to 3 hours, and the reason that the timer helps me is that sometimes I forget when I fed her. So let's say for example right now she were to wake up, then I know I can try to put her back to sleep because she's only been out for half an hour. But if she wakes up like an hour after I fed her, then I'll kind of gauge to see how sleepy she is. If she isn't tired anymore, I just don't even try to put her down to sleep. I just start her next wake window. And also I like to watch her on the monitor while she naps. Okay, I'm back. I actually had to intervene because she just kept squiggling around, so I went to go put her back down. So let's see how long she goes down for. I do want to take some time to plan out my day. I am currently using a digital planner, just a planner page template that I previously made. Let me just show you what it looks like before I fill it out. So I use a weekly planner. It allows you to lay out the dates of the week. You can track up to 5 habits and just bubble in each day that you achieve that particular habit. And it's all of the days of the week, and it has a little notes section for any extra things that you want to write down there. I made this planner template last year, I believe, and I used it for some of 2023, and I really want to make it a point to use it this year of 2024, and so far I've been really good at it. I've used it the entire month of January. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it out for this week and set some goals for today. Today is Monday, so just some of the things that I want to take care of. I just finished writing some goals for today and I do want to share them, but it's honestly not even been that long and baby girl is up and at it again, so I'm gonna try to put her down to sleep one more time. But yeah, I just wanted to document the realistic aspect of having a teeny tiny baby. You are on their schedule. There is no way this little baby's going back down. Alrighty, so usually when she wakes up, she's stretching, doing her thing. She likes to just chill out. So I'm going to share my goals for today, or my to-dos. So first of all, let me share the habits that I will be tracking this week. The first one is to engage in movement for at least 30 minutes. I don't do this every day. My goal is a minimum of 3 times per week. My other habit is a daily habit, and this is to listen to a devotional. Currently, I have been listening to the Bible in a Year podcast. Then another of my goals is to scrapbook. She's like eating her hands. You're hungry again, mamas? I'm telling you, she's been cluster feeding. Anyway, scrapbooking. If you watched my 2024 goals video, I talk about there how I really want scrapbooking to be one of my hobbies, like scrapbooking and creating photo albums. So this isn't a thing that I try to do daily because it's just been so hectic over here, but it is something that I want to keep top of mind so that I at least am doing it once a week. And something that I added this week in terms of habits is to listen to the audiobook of my current read, which is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I am part of a book club. Our first time meeting is at the end of January. Yeah, do you want to come? And I'm so far behind. Like, I've tried to listen to the audiobook, so I'll plug in like my headphones when I'm breastfeeding her or when I'm putting her to sleep, but it's honestly been a little difficult. I haven't made the time that I need for it. So I added it this week because I need to, like, by Friday I need to have read the book in its entirety. So that's a little bit about my habits that I will be tracking this week. Some goals for today. One of them is to make a call to the dentist. I need to call something regarding our insurance because last March I got in a car accident and there's lawyers involved because it was not my fault and I was pregnant, and it's been like such a long process that I just need to be on top of these people, you know. So I'm gonna make that call. Another goal is to edit a YouTube video. I recently did a no spend week in which for an entire week we didn't buy anything, so I don't know if that'll be up by the time this is up. Hopefully. That's a goal. That's why I'm trying to edit today. Another goal is to cook. We do have enough food for today, lunch and dinner, but I want to start prepping the meals tonight for tomorrow. And oh my goodness, little Miss Chatty, do you want to do my YouTube video? You want to tell them my goals for the day? Yeah, mamas? I love how chatty she is. Those are the goals for the day. We'll see how far we get. For now, I'm gonna go hang out with my little bestie. Okay, I'm gonna do some tummy time with her and then probably feed her again because she looks like she's hungry. So let's go. Okay, so I just changed her diaper. The reason she was so fussy is because she had a little situation down there. I had just changed her diaper before she went to sleep, but since someone's been eating so much, there's a lot of poopies in there. Oh, that's funny to you? Anyway, right now we're going to do some tummy time. She doesn't like it, but it's important. She has to do it. So we're gonna do it. I've been using my breastfeeding pillow to prop her on here so that she's she's not fully flat. This can kind of help her elevate her neck. And I was watching a video that you want to keep them entertained. So I don't know why she really loves this guy. So usually, you love it, huh, mama? So when she's doing tummy time, I just like to entertain her with this so that it's not as miserable of a time for her. Come on, you gotta get a nice strong neck. Put your hands right here. Like that. Tummy time. Good job. Tummy, tummy, tummy time. I went ahead and quickly changed out of my pajamas. Yes, I had to change, mommy. So because she didn't sleep very well, she's still sleepy, but she's also hungry. It's time to feed my little child. Breastfeeding time, I always make sure to take in my water jug and my phone. I'm gonna go ahead and listen to my devotional while I breastfeed her. And once that's done, I will listen to my audiobook. Okay, my love, you see, everything's okay. So she is sleeping. Every time I put her in this thing, at first she's very fussy, but once I rock her or put on some lullabies in the background, she will go down and she will sleep for a long time in this. So I'm going to take advantage and make some phone calls right now. I hate talking on the phone, so let's do that first. But because I was pregnant, the dentist told me to wait till this year, so I was wondering if I can go ahead and schedule that. Do you have any Saturday appointments? Yeah, that should work. That was fast and it's done. I have my dental appointment scheduled. And to get the phone calls out of the way, I'm going to call and see what's up with the car accident situation.
Okay, so the HIPAA that we have, that was the newer one.
Okay.
And if that one's really disability.
Okay, I just finished the phone calls. Now I want to work on the financial plan for my husband and me. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just draft up our income and expenses on our Excel sheet that we have shared, and sort of like who's in charge of overseeing what expenses, just to divide the labor. And I always know what I'm keeping my eye on and he knows what he's keeping his eye on. So we're gonna work on that for a couple of minutes. To try to get some YouTube editing done. Little girl should wake up soon, but I'm gonna try to do as much as I can. We'll see how far we get. So in addition to groceries, and we have So I'm filming this clip a couple of days after filming the day in my life with a newborn, and I just wanted to sit and have a little chat about some tips to help with just staying positive during postpartum and sort of like helping you survive with a newborn, especially on those first 4 weeks. Baby's crying. I will be back. Let me continue. I had someone request a video like this, and I thought it would be the perfect time to include some tips because I've had a couple of rough days as well, of mainly just being tired, as you can probably tell through this clip. And I thought it would be a good reminder to kind of like connect with the things that have helped me up to this point. So actually my baby is going to turn 12 weeks this week. So yeah, she's almost 3 months, which is crazy. I do want to start off by, you know, giving a disclaimer that postpartum depression is real. So nothing that I'm sharing here is to like serve as therapy or any advice related to postpartum depression. I think that's just more of a severe mental state, and you should definitely seek more help. However, I will say, as someone that was going through baby blues in the first couple of days, watching videos like this helped me. So yeah, I do still want to say that this is not therapy, even though sometimes YouTube does feel like therapy, if I'm being real. I do have a couple of notes here. I just sat down last night and I was really reflecting on what things have helped me. I did want to start off by saying that the first weeks are just hard, especially the first couple of days, especially the third day. I don't know what about the third day. I've heard this before, but I also experienced it. It was just a hard day. Everything is just so new, especially if you're a first-time parent and you're learning how to be a mother. You're recovering from birth. It's just so many new things that it's just inevitable to feel like you're in the trenches. I know we've all heard that just having help is essential, and that would be my first tip, is just accepting help from people that you feel comfortable with. Obviously, I know that after you give birth and once you're recovering, you don't necessarily just want anyone in your house. I know for me, I was learning how to breastfeed. My breasts were out half of the time because you're either pumping or feeding and you're tired. The first week of postpartum, everything's just out there. At least it was for me. I also did have a pretty intense labor, so that definitely added an extra layer of just being tired. So having help was just crucial. And this kind of leads to my next tip, is like, don't feel pressured to have visitors. First of all, your baby's so little, their immune system's developing. Bringing people into the home, you don't know if they're gonna get sick from that. And I think this is based on your relationship with the people that come over. Like for me, the only people that I really wanted to be over were my mom and like my sister. And like I said, I was like out and about, I was bleeding, I was healing. It was just not something that I wanted just anyone to be here for. It just felt like such a rawness that I would only want my mom there or my sister. How I would turn it around was that I would tell myself, no, this is time that I have to figure out with my baby. I can receive help in other ways. People don't necessarily need to physically be here to be helping me. My favorite thing was just receiving home cooked meals. To be honest, home cooked meals is like the top one thing you can have. Everything else, it's fine if you live in a messy house for a while, but it's not fine if you don't have food. Another tip that I have written down here is to try your best to get rest. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I hated hearing just sleep when the baby sleeps. I don't know what about that, but it was just like, you don't think I'm trying? It's so hard to rest as a new parent because you're so paranoid. Like I remember the whole time I would go and check if she was breathing, or I would finally try to like get a nap in and she would just wake up like after 15 minutes. So even if she slept an hour, I would have to intervene. Like she would cry, I would come in, hold her, put her down, and that kept happening. So at one point I honestly just gave up on it and accepted my reality, accepted the sleep deprivation. I realized that rest can come in different ways. So if you're someone that has a baby like mine that was very restless, try to rest in other ways. Like definitely you should be aiming for sleep, but don't pressure yourself so much. I remember I would like try to force myself to sleep. It just wouldn't happen. Over time, I just sort of like shifted what resting meant for me. It didn't always mean sleep because I knew I couldn't attain that sometimes. Sometimes it was just sitting, like just sitting down, resting my feet, resting my back. Sometimes it meant like really forcing myself to not do any chores. Sometimes it was just sit down and watch TV. I was like binging Gilmore Girls like crazy the first weeks of postpartum. So that's definitely something that I recommend, is don't try to put too much pressure on yourself. If you cannot sleep, it's okay, it'll pass, but do try to find different ways of resting if possible. Hopefully your rest ends up in a nap, but if it doesn't, at least you've just rested the body, you know? I need rest right now. Okay, so another tip that I have is related to breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is quite the journey. It is so exhausting. It's a beautiful thing to be able to do, but it's also exhausting. Something that really helped me is to start viewing breastfeeding as me time, because I needed to have that mind shift breastfeeding happens so often. Every 2 hours when they're like barely born, right? Like every 2 to 3 hours, you're feeding, you're feeding, you're feeding. And if you're not breastfeeding, you're pumping. So it's a lot, and it can get so overwhelming, like so overwhelming, because it's happening all the time. So what I started seeing this as is like me time. This is time that I get to scroll on my phone if I want to. A little bit of scrolling is fine. You don't need to be doing productive things with your time, you know? But over time, I will say that it really helped to be doing other activities on my phone, like listening to podcasts, maybe listening to podcasts related to motherhood, related to your journey. I would love watching YouTube videos, like just watch the content that I enjoy. I would watch a lot of mommy vlogs because that really helped me remember that I'm not the only one in this situation, and know that it's just going to pass. The hard moments are going to pass. Something that I really enjoy doing right now is I like going through Instagram recipes, and I just like saving a bunch of the Instagram recipes, whether it's dessert, lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever, and I just save it onto my collections on my Instagram. And I like to start planning meals for the week. And if you're someone that doesn't want to be distracted by your phone, maybe having a book by your breastfeeding area or your Kindle, and just really seeing it as a moment to decompress, because even though it's like exhausting to be breastfeeding or pumping, at least you are sitting down. Another practical tip that I have is to develop small routines. I want to first say that it is almost impossible to have a solid routine with a newborn, only because every day is different. So I don't mean like doing things at the same time every day. What I mean is like following a sequence of events to the best of your ability. And also, this is going to depend on the age of your baby, so it's going to look different when they're newborn, like fresh out the womb, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, versus for me now. For example, my baby's 2 to 3 months, so I'll give an example of what I do with her now. An example is during her wake window. The first thing I do is I gauge where she's at. Like, I have to see, is she waking up happy, content, or is she waking up crying because she's starving? So if she's starving, if she's just like clearly showing me hunger cues, I will feed her immediately. But sometimes, especially now at almost 3 months, she wakes up happy, she wakes up cooing, so then I know it's not as urgent that I feed her immediately. So let me give an example of when she wakes up calm and talkative. So for that wake window, typically what I do is I remove her swaddle, or now she's in a sleep suit because she's transitioning out of a swaddle, and I remove that. I let her stretch. She has been like just vibing out by herself, so she stretches out by herself. She's analyzing her surroundings, she's cooing, she's interacting with her environment. And this is one of the best tips that I heard, is just allow your baby to be. And I remember watching a video where it was just sort of like saying, you don't need to always be like on top of your baby, making them do things, making them do tummy time. No, like allow them to just be. Hearing that changed everything, because I started allowing her to just hang out by herself. She'll coo by herself, she'll talk by herself, and eventually once she's unhappy, she'll let you know. Once your baby's unhappy, they're gonna let you know. So once she got bored or she wanted my attention, she would start crying, and then I would immediately come in. I would go ahead and give her her vitamin D drops that the pediatrician recommended, and then after that I will go ahead and feed her one of my breasts. So she's feeding for 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes she would fall asleep, sometimes she would reject my breast sooner than 15 minutes. So I kind of just followed her lead, and then immediately after she would feed, I would burp her, and then I would change her diaper, and then I would put her back in her crib so she can keep hanging out. She's fed now, she's not as fussy. I read to her, and then I do tummy time. And then with tummy time, I'm there. Depends on their age. Like when they're younger, they're supposed to do less time, and then as they get older, to more time. So I would just be doing tummy time for a couple of minutes, and then that would tire her out. Then after all of that, I will go ahead and feed her from the other breast and leave her on there for 15-20 minutes, or until she's tired or falls asleep, and then I will swaddle her and rock her and then put her down to sleep. So I really like doing this because I like ending on the breast. I like starting with breast and ending with breast, so I sandwich the activities in between my breasts. in between those feedings. This just ensures that they end with bottle, they end with the milk, they end with food, so they're just calmer. I just never wanted to end with a diaper change or with tummy time because they're alert, they're like fussy. So sandwiching that and having that sequence of events is one example of small routines that don't look the same every day because they don't always happen at the same time. She won't always fall asleep right away, but mentally, like, it just helped me to know what came next and kind of have that control, and it would help her sleep, so that was even better. So kind of create these little routines for yourself, whatever works for your baby, because every baby's different. This is just one example of a wake window. You can set little routines like this in the morning or for bedtime and sort of see what works, and as they get older, different things are going to work. On a different day, different things are going to work. So those tips were more like practical tips, and now I want to share some tips that are more about your mind, like more having to do with your perspective. So one of the best things that I have done is just surrender, like knowing that I have no control over this, embracing the suck. And what I mean by suck is just the sleep deprivation, because having no sleep does suck, right? Even if it's your beautiful, amazing baby keeping you up, you're still tired. So like that part does suck. And just surrendering is crucial, because otherwise you're gonna get irritated, you're gonna get impatient, and you don't want that. You don't, especially not in the middle of the night. You don't want that, and you don't want that because you're gonna regret it. So really just staying calm by surrendering and realizing it's temporary, it's gonna pass, and just keep repeating that to yourself and appreciate that little bundle of joy in front of you, because time is a thief and these little moments are so fleeting. Like, your baby's not gonna be this tiny forever, and that's another thing that really helped me, is just remembering that they're not gonna be this tiny forever, and that's honestly beautiful but also heartbreaking. And I would just tell myself, why wouldn't I want to appreciate this moment? Another tip that has really helped me, this has helped me since pregnancy, is to remind yourself that you aren't missing out on anything. That being right here, right now with your baby, whether you're growing your baby because you're pregnant or your baby's already here, so being physically there with your baby is exactly where you need to be. You don't need to be anywhere else. You don't need to be on a trip somewhere with friends or family. You don't need to be anywhere else but right here with your baby. And these are the good old days. One day in the future, you're gonna look back and these are gonna be the days when your baby was tiny and beautiful. You don't want to look back and regret. You do not want to look back and regret. So connecting with that, like, I am where I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be doing anything else. This phase in my life that I'm in is a perfect one for me right now. This is all that matters. And this helps you, like, not compare your life to anyone else, not wish you were doing anything else, and really just be present, be in the moment. And ultimately that's what it comes down to. It's being present in this very instant. And when you have a baby, like, you have to just take it minute by minute. Even day by day is too much of a time frame. Like, minute by minute, just breathe. It's all going to be okay, and you are exactly where you need to be. You are meant to be a mama. You deserve this. You are capable of this. And it's terrifying because it's just like, what do you do with this child? Especially if you're a first-time mom. I did not want my mom to leave. I did not want to be alone with my baby because I was just so afraid that I didn't know how to. And you do know how to. It's in your nature. Listen to your intuition. Listen to yourself. You have the capacity. You have the ability to fend for your baby. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment in your life. It truly is. And it's so short. It's gonna end so soon. So I think that would be my biggest tip to you, is just, this is where you belong. But these were just some tips. Like I said, I am also going through it, so this video was for me as well as for whoever's watching this. I'm gonna try to take a little nap because baby's sleeping, so I should be sleeping. If you like this video, please like the video. I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. With all of that being said, I will see you in the next video.